chair now recognizes the gentleman from the other Carolina, the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Duncan, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The better of the Carolinas, I can tell you that. I want to thank my colleague from California who mentioned nuclear waste. I'd like to submit for the record a letter to the Secretary. The subject is request to establish a DOE office dedicated to nuclear waste management. I'd like to submit that for the record, Mr. Chairman. Okay. All right, so we'll move on. We'll
no objection. So ordered.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, would you agree with the statement that with the exception to transmission lines which go into neighboring countries, that renewable energy is not exportable?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, no.
Okay, tell me how you're going to export renewable energy,
well, I mean,
other than transmission lines.
Right. I mean, it depends on whether you consider energy storage an assist to renewable energy. Largely, of course, it is involved here, created here, deployed here. So yes, that is an important aspect of it. But I would say the technology that gets us to clean energy, a lot of that technology is exportable.
The technology is exportable. I'm talking about the energy as it's produced.
Yeah, it's largely done inside of a country, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we can't load up a bunch of Eveready batteries right now on a ship and send them out. But what we can do is load up natural gas and send it to neighboring countries and countries around the world to improve the quality of lives for so many people. We have an abundance of natural gas in this country, an abundance of fossil fuels in general. In fact, in 2017, we became a net exporter of energy. And so we're not seeing that now, but I just want to make sure that we understand that we're not exporting renewable energy, but we can export the fossil fuels that are produced here. I want to shift gears. I was pleased to hear you express earlier your support for nuclear power and its essential role in meeting the emission reduction goals, as well as meeting the 24/7, 365 baseload power supply that our nation needs to drive our economy, that you don't always get with intermittent energy sources, by the way, because we don't have, as you mentioned, the storage capacity. We may get there. I get that. But right now we don't. And we have to meet our needs in the 24/7, 365 baseload power arena. I was also encouraged by you mentioning support for advanced nuclear technology and research. To that point, I do have concerns that other countries are surpassing the United States in nuclear technology. Globally, 2/3 of all nuclear reactors under construction use Chinese and Russian designs. To maintain our competitiveness in the global nuclear arena, we must continue to pursue advanced reactor development. I've introduced a bill to reduce the expensive and burdensome permitting processes for new and advanced reactors by seeking to eliminate duplicative environmental reviews. To this end, I was pleased the Energy Security Act of 2020 included an alternative fuels report requiring the Secretary of Energy to submit a report to Congress identifying the viability for uranium-233 to be used as a fuel for advanced reactor development. Certain types of thorium reactors require U-233 as a necessary seed material. So, Secretary, are you aware of this report?
I am aware. I have not read it, but I'm aware that a report needs to happen.
Okay. Do you commit to making sure it fully covers the topics required, including consultation with stakeholders and providing it to Congress in a timely manner?
Of course.
Okay. Thank you. I think U-233 is a topic we ought to discuss, Mr. Chairman, at some point in time as a viable product that we are downblending and losing as a strategic asset in this country. But let me shift gears. Secretary, Energy and Commerce members try to work closely with DOE and its leadership on important issues. I hope we can work on things like nuclear waste, for example. But I've got to ask you a question on behalf of my constituents to address concern, and that is your ownership stake in Proterra. Proterra is in Greenville, South Carolina, one of their facilities. I visited it. The Biden administration actually visited it recently with the president coming to Greenville. What have you done to unwind your investments in Proterra, and do you think that's a conflict of interest?
Yeah, I very much understand and agree with the importance of avoiding conflicts. I support that 1,000%. I'm in the process of fulfilling my obligation to divest. The selling of stocks and options is what's required for every appointee, and like every appointee, I've signed a comprehensive ethics agreement, which was drafted and vetted by the Office of Government Ethics. And that agreement ensures that I divest of all individual stocks and options within 180 days. And I expect to have that done well in advance of that deadline.
Good. I appreciate that. I just wanted to hear that on the record. I know my colleague, Mr. Norman from South Carolina on the Oversight Committee is investigating that. And I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.